Guys, Nick here, and welcome back to the Soul Studios server. If you missed last episode, we spent the entirety of it making 3 different mob farms, with a 4th one dug out and ready to be built at any time we like. And today is a very special day, because today is the day that we finally get to start working on our base. Because if you've noticed, in the last 3 episodes, the only thing base-related I've done is make my starter house. My mine entrance is still this little starter, even more of a starter, shack, with a very tedious-to-get-through staircase. My nether portal is just sitting there, quite far away from my house. And my source of food is just a little cow pen and a little patch of wheat. So yeah, we need to move on up in the world and upgrade ourselves, and that is exactly what we'll be doing today. Now the first thing we'll be doing is making a much better mine entrance than the one we have over there with our little starter shack. And I'm thinking I'll have it right around here, topped off by a nice little hut, nice little shack, nice little house. I don't know what to call it. You'll see what I mean when I build it. It's gonna be a small little structure that houses the entrance that will definitely be much less tedious to use than what I currently have for my mine. Yeah, that shack looks a lot better than the first one. And it fits right in next to my house, almost like a little shed in the backyard. But instead of storing things like a shed does, it shall be leading directly down into my mine via bubble elevators. So now it's time to get digging. And 2 holes have been dug. One for soul sand to shoot me up, and one for magma blocks to pull me down. And of course the next thing I need to do is get some kelp, get some more water, and do the thing to make it work. And then after that, I have this area to worry about. Now normally this would be it, and there would just be a bunch of tunnels going in all sorts of directions as I look for items. But I want to do something else. I want to kind of have a main hub area, a sort of main mine hub area, where I can come and have furnaces and chests and garbage disposals, and I can just organize myself and set myself up for successful mining trips. So after filling up the water and the kelp and all that, I'll start working out designs for this hub area down here. There we are. The mining hub, or whatever it's called, is complete. And it just so happens to be right next to the slime chunk that I dug out, so easy access to the slime farm when I eventually build that. And I quite like the design I came up with. Having a little depth with the stone bricks and the gray terracotta, some nice polished andesite, and the same floor as the house up there that has the entrance to this place of stripped birch. Looks nice. And now the next thing that needs to happen is for me to make a nice tunnel, probably starting around here, going all the way to the triple triad farm tunnels that we did in the last episode. And that's gonna be a good ways away. So this is gonna be a very long tunnel. So it's gonna take a lot of resources. It's gonna take a long time to build, a lot of resources to make it look pretty. I'm gonna go through so many bookshelves, making so many lanterns, making so many lecterns, because I gotta have the torch holders. Well, you don't have to. No, I have to have torch holders. So yeah, that's gonna be a process, and that's what we need to do now. Making this tunnel has given me major PTSD flashbacks from the tunnels episode back in Season 1, before we knew the Nether was the prime place for all of our tunneling needs. Luckily, this tunnel didn't take as long to make as all those tunnels in that episode, but what it did take a lot of was leather. How much leather? Let's just say I'm not gonna need to worry about food for the foreseeable future. And with this done, we finally have a prime way into both our mob farms and just the mines at y = 11 in general. Which means there's now something we need to do. Well, the hole has been filled in all the way down to y=11. And, I now need to take this down. I no longer have a use for it. Goodbye, shack. You have served me well as my starter house, or a starter shack, really. But you will be missed, and you will not be forgotten. Until I eventually build something better over where this shack used to be. Though I will be keeping the campfire, and the torch that was in the middle of the shack. Well, for now. Of course, once I actually build something in this location, these will be taken down. But for now, they'll sit here as a memorial, remembrance, a whatever, of the starter shack that used to be. Alright, up next on the agenda is to do something about this absolute garbage nether portal. Like really, it's been like this since episode 1, and now it's far away from my base, so it's a hassle to get to, and when you get to it, it's garbage. So it needs a facelift, it needs to be moved, it needs everything, it needs everything. And I have an idea, and that idea will also check off another thing on the list that needs to be upgraded, and that would be my crop farm. Now what I'm going to do is make a nice big farm, and I currently have cobblestone temporarily outlining where it's going to be, and then as a nice, not centerpiece, but I guess main piece, main attraction, main area, main whatever, it's going to be my nether portal. But of course, as you can see, first off I have a good bit of terraforming to do. And then once I finish that terraforming, I gotta put in the actual walls, replacing the cobblestone, which will, of course, be leaf blocks. After maybe an hour or so, the terraforming and the wall has been put in. Now the next step is to, of course, put in all the crops that I need. I'm thinking I'll do a nice line of sugarcane all the way around, so I get plenty of that, and then a patch of wheat, patch of beetroot, patch of melon, patch of pumpkin, patch of potato, patch of carrot, and luckily I already have one of each plant, and also luckily I have a skeleton to farm, so I have unlimited bone meal, so now it's just a bit of a grind to get all the plants in place. Alright, all the plants are in, and so now that means it's time to start actually decorating the place. I'm thinking probably some nice stone brick paths, and what I really want to make is a nice little water fountain right in the middle. And there we have it. Decorating has been finished. We got some nice lights, some nice flowers, a nice fountain, and some nice walls dividing up all the crops. And now what I need to do is get to work on the main attraction, the main reason I was making this place, that of course being the nether portal, which I'm planning on having it be over here, and it being on some sort of structure. So now, I need to start working on that said structure. And with that, the entire garden area is complete. Here we have a nice little stand holding my nether portal over some water, and I have not lit the nether portal because 1.16 will be coming very soon, so not gonna worry and deal with any of the nether related hassles that have to do with portals until after we update and reset. And one more thing that I've done is down here I added a bunch more farms. I did this specifically because mushrooms need a darker place to grow, and I decided to fill out the place with other crops that don't require light to grow. So now we have even more things growing in this nice farm, and storage, which I can, of course, extend if I ever need to. And with that, this place is completely done, and I even have it set up where I get exactly 1 stack of wheat from here, and 1 stack of wheat from here. The sugarcane gives me about 3 and a little over a half stacks, and of course the potatoes and carrots are random, and melons and pumpkins are melons and pumpkins. Now, one more thing I'm going to need to do is make the outside look a bit better, because right now it's just a simple hedge wall. Sure, I can kind of work on its own, but I have an idea to add a little bit more to the outside wall. So now I need to, first off, farm a lot of resources, because this place is decently big, so to get something to cover the entire perimeter, that's going to take a bit of grinding. And with this, I do believe that makes this entire project finished. So now, it's time to go and make it official. Well, old friend, it's been fun, but it's time to say goodbye. And now I also need to get rid of this little crop patch that I've had. Let's jump on him. Though I will leave this sugarcane that's lining the island. For now, that is. But you never know. Now, with that being done, that means that there's now only one more thing that I need to move from this area over to my new area, along with upgrading it. And that, of course, being my cow pen. And I'm just going to be simply making an upgrade by making a nice, bigger pen. I am going to be making an upgrade by getting more animals, getting all the animals, getting a nice sheep pen, a nice pig pen, a nice chicken pen, place for a horse, as in, I'm going to be making a barn next, and it'll be right around here, right next to the garden, so all of my food, all of my animals, right next to each other, easily accessible from my house, right there, and always loaded via always chunk loaded, so when I'm in my house, crops will grow, animals will grow if I breed them, and everything will come together very nicely. And there we are, your stereotypical red, very obvious barn, along with, of course, using, once again, obvious spruce doors, which look really good as barn doors. And I've had to do some more terraforming. It's really annoying, because for both the barn and the garden, this land just happens to be just uneven enough to what I want to do, where I have to put in stacks upon stacks of dirt and cobblestone just to get this to be what I want it to be. But now what I need to do is, of course, finish up by finishing up the walls inside the barn, putting up fences, starting on the roof, getting animals in here. Lots of things that still need to be done, obviously. I have just started making this barn. Alright, the walls and pens are in. And you can obviously see there's not enough pens for every animal. That's because I kinda don't need every animal. I don't need large quantities of many of the animals in the game. And then over here I got some nice horse pens with leaves so I don't suffocate, even for that brief second as I ride them out of here. And now what's next is I need to, of course, put a roof on, and then get all the animals in here. And the roof, oh boy, the roof's gonna be a time, just to say the least. The animals are in, the roof is on, so now the barn is done for now. I'm not 100% on this roof that I've made, so, you know, it's subject to change if I come up with anything better. Now inside, we of course have the 4 stereotypical animals you would have in a Minecraft barn, just because. And I got a nice skeleton horse sitting over here. I'm thinking of possibly wanting to maybe make a spooky underground part of the barn where I would store him and then have a regular horse up here. But, you know, that's for later, if I come up with I feel like doing it. Then up here, I got some nice hay bales for storage and nice looking purposes, of course. Back here, just a nice little room with chests and smokers and such. So now, the barn's done. And it shall get me all the foods, all the wool, all the leather, all the eggs, all the feathers that I need. And the pigs are just there, because you can't have the other 3 without the pig, just because. Now, we're not done yet. There's one more thing I want to do. As you can see, it's a bit of a trip to get it here, to there, to my house, to there, so it's time to make a nice path. And a bit of, actually not even a bit of terraforming is involved. I'm thinking I'm just gonna have a nice, maybe small little bridge just going here to over there. Of course, a nice path from my house. to this area. The path and bridge have been finished. I like the nice simple design I thought up for the bridge. And with that, it's now nice and easy to get from my base to the garden, to the barn, and back. And now with that, I can say that everything for today has been completed. But there is one last thing that must be done. Just has been done with the other 2 projects today. Now it's time to finally tear down this cow pen. And the cow pen is the last thing on this side of the forest that I wanted to replace on the other side of the forest. Now I don't want all these cows just running around, so and with that, everything I wanted to do today has been accomplished. So that means it is finally time to end the episode. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.